Out of the Shadows, the follow-up to the reboot of 2014, didn't do so well in the cinema. In fact, it did so poorly or under expectations. Won't be a third one, which you might think that's a great thing. You might think that's a bad thing.
I don't think either one of those things.
Are you indifferent to TMNT?
I've never, ever, even as a child, cared.
Been a fan?
I like turtles. I don't like mutant turtles.
Well, if you didn't, you're kind of a different generation from me.
No, my brother loved him. My brother is 8 years older than me and absolutely loved him.
Okay.
I wasn't there during their prime, and I'm not gonna pretend like I was. So
yeah, and growing up in that time, my mom was kind of the opinion that well, they're encouraging fighting. She didn't want me to get into fighting at school because I was trying to emulate the turtles. Eventually let me get into it and start watching the cartoon because she, I guess, got exposed to it somehow. She's like, oh, this is not that bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So I got into it, loved the video games growing up. Those are some of my favorite beat 'em ups are Turtles games. And I saw I grew up watching the second movie, Secret of the Ooze. Like, we had that on VHS.
Yeah, see, I've never even heard of that, man.
Yeah, you can watch it on Netflix, maybe.
No, dude. I can. I'm not going to. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is not a fandom that I will ever be a part of. Like, I'm not going to go back and watch it. I'm not going to watch the movies. I'm not going to buy the merchandise. No. I'm not ever going to care about it.
And that's fine. Ninja Turtles, I mean, it was the if you grew up during the late 90s, you can look at Pokemon and such a worldwide phenomenon that was Turtles in the late 80s to early mid 90s. It was all about Power Rangers.
Yeah,
well, I love Power Rangers. I got sucked into all three of them. But the Ninja Turtles
and then Pokemon lasted forever, so
it still is kind of phenomenon.
It's a phenomenon to me. I don't get it.
Now, have you seen any of the movies for Turtles?
I think I saw there was one I saw that was a live action one at some point. I was very, very sleepy, and I was with my nephew, who is 1.5 now, and this was half a year ago, so I don't know what I saw. We both fell asleep to it. I don't know. It was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie, but I don't know what it was. So it wasn't this one.
So the 2014 reboot. A lot of people. Number one, you had Megan Fox cast as April O'Neil, which she didn't. I saw the movie. She didn't do that bad of a job. She actually acted in it and didn't just go on eye candy alone to carry the role.
Yeah.
Was there a little bit too much April in the movie? They made her so important to their backstory that it was kind of ridiculous.
And she's not. They're just mutant turtles.
She
had nothing to do with anything, right?
So there's a character that you make in kind of fantastical stories. You kind of have to have. I don't know the term of it, but I'm going to use the term character. This is the character that's supposed to see things through the eyes of the audience.
Okay.
That's what April O'Neil is. She's kind of the.
I don't know the word for that either.
Yeah, I know that it's in literature.
It's probably a crazy word.
Well, Final Fantasy X, the game through his eyes because he gets thrown into this whole new world, and so you're, as a player who's being introduced to the world of Spira.
So is he. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool.
It's so you usually in fiction it's a really good tool to introduce all these weird concepts.
So basically to just be okay, we know this doesn't make sense, and he also knows it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Just bear with it.
It's
It'll make
always-
sense eventually.
There's always like a character that's just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. There's mutant turtles, or Sam Witwicky in Transformers does the same thing. So you have to have that human element in there.
Mm-hmm.
Hers, way too much. I'll say that much.
Also,
And
she doesn't even look real. Like,
yeah, very, very manufactured. She acted in the movie though. Shredder, they kind of had to retcon things. I think Shredder, they were going to go a completely different direction, and I think they're going to go with a different directions with the Turtles too. They were going to have them be aliens or something, and they got that.
boy.
They got that out of the. Yeah, it was going to be like no. It was going to be
they're not. That
so
was
cringe.
They're not Teenage Mutant Alien Turtles.
But
They're
they didn't end up doing that. They made them have
Teenage Alien to Ninja Turtles.
They had them just be,
Teenage-
ooze gets on them, they get mutated.
They talk. They eat pizza.
Yes, the classic Ninja
They
Turtles.
paint.
Don't mess with anything. They paint. So the first, and you had all four turtles. You had Splinter. And that was it. Those are like all the classic characters you had. You didn't really have a whole lot of much else. Out of the Shadows, what they were trying to do, they brought in Krang, they brought in Bebop, they bought Rocksteady, they brought in Casey Jones.
I know who Casey Jones is. That guy?
Hockey Stick.
Hockey stick.
Hockey stick
guy.
And and so
Casey Jones was cool from the cartoon. I remember him. Seen a couple episodes of that.
Yeah, he was always like the edgy. He was Mr. Edge.
So metal.
And they brought in like all these extra things from the cartoon, but it just didn't bring in people to see the movie. And it's funny because I watched the first movie, Let Me Borrow DVD.
Which did do really well, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah. According to I want to say the numbers for the first movie. We may actually not have those numbers here. But the second movie did much, much less. So so here we go. Yeah. Out of the Shadows earned 245.6 million worldwide, whereas the first movie made 493.3 million. So we're talking like it did half what it did.
And that's not what they want.
Right. Plus they had a lot more in the second movie, and I kind of
costs a lot more money to make.
Yeah, because you normally, once you get a successful movie, when you get in a sequel, you expect the sequel to do more.
Yeah.
You get a bigger budget. And here's some of the I want to say, was this the director? No, this is producer Andrew Form was talking to Collider. And he kind of just went through the process of what happened with the second movie, Out of the Shadows. From our first Super Bowl teaser to everything we launched, we felt so good about our material, and for some reason it did not find the audience that the first movie found. And we talk about it all the time, and we try to figure it out, but we cannot put our finger on what happened. We really can't. It's just one of those things where we feel like we made a really great movie. We thought at the time that our release date was great, and we added all these new characters. Even before the movie came out, we were feeling great. And you wake up 2 days before the movie opens and you go, wow, I don't know if this movie is tracking as well as it should. Then you hope, and then Thursday nights come in and you're like, that's not what the first movie did. And sure enough, your weekend comes and it's nowhere near what anyone thought. Before you know, it's over. It's a sequel. You give the audience something that's really new and fresh. From the canon wasn't enough. And then he kind of concluded, there's Turtles 3, but I wouldn't say there's never going to be another Turtles movie. So that just might be it for this run.
Yeah.
I think for a kids movie, it didn't because Nickelodeon Studios kind of produces it as well. So I do feel it could have done better, but for some reason people just
didn't respond to it.
They just didn't want to watch any more of it.
That's weird.
It is kind of weird because they went in the direction that people wanted them to go.
How long has it been since that movie? Since the first one?
2014. It was 2 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know any explanation for this one.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I mean, it could have been bad marketing. I didn't know that movie existed.
the second one
Yeah,
or
I
the
didn't
first
know it
one?
existed.
Oh, second one. I saw advertisements all the time. Whenever I would go onto YouTube,
Oh,
I
never
would
mind.
get tons of.
Yeah, I've seen advertisements on it.
The advertisements were kind of annoying, but
yeah, it was like that. It was that they were annoying,
they had some kind of hip hop music playing or something.
and
like
there was
that.
a lot going on in it the whole time.
Yeah,
Like it wasn't. There was. Yeah.
but I don't know. Sometimes it's not as simple. It's not as simple as, just sticking with the source material. I guess sometimes you need to.
I don't know. Like I haven't one, so
Yeah, it stinks. Like I know that a lot of people.
Was the movie bad?
No, it got good reviews. It got pretty much the same reviews that the first movie got, if not a little bit better. Just
Doesn't
due to
mean
the changes.
it made money though. I've seen some really good
Yeah.
movies in my day that didn't make a lot of money. So
Right. I mean, we just came off of Halloween. Nightmare Before Christmas did not do well until like the years later with DVD
now it
sales.
kills probably still.
They did like a 3D stereoscopic version of it a few years ago, and
Well,
that did much
merchandise, man.
Yeah.
Everyone's got something that has something
Keeps
to do
Hot
with
Topic in business.
it. Does, you're right. I was thinking that. But they also got those weird pop figurines or whatever I don't know.
Oh, don't even get me started on those generic pieces of junk. Oh, I hate them.
I bought I bought some sunglasses from there, and I bought a Cowboy Bebop shirt from there, and that's the only time I've bought anything from there in the past like 6 years.
Used to buy a bunch of Zelda shirts from there, and they all like
Shrink.
Well, no, they just like would get holes in them, and they would just start to disintegrate within the first 5 years. I have a Kingdom Hearts 2 shirt from 11 years ago, and it's still in great shape. For some reason, like their quality level is just so like far, like you don't know if you're gonna get something good or not.
Mine is good. That's why I test, because I bought a Gorilla shirt from there, the band, the Gorillas. I bought a Gorilla shirt from there, and it sucks now as a shirt. It's just, it doesn't feel like it's touching me ever. It's kind of like I don't know. It's a gross shirt. Like it looks when I wear it, it looks as if I've been years, and I've probably worn it like 15 times total. Like,
yeah. I with this movie, I just feel like it pains me to see a lot of people's hard work just kind of going to waste.
Yeah. There is that sympathy side there.
Like, you want something, like I wanted it to do well.
And it's not only that they wanted it, like they were expecting it. They put the work into it for it to be received.
They did what the fans wanted them to do.
Yeah, and it just is what happened. It's like, where'd you all go?
Yeah. You didn't show up to support the movie.